Hi, my name's Keith Cooper of Northlight Images, and so a short video about this which has just turned up at my door. This is the Fujifilm 30mm tilt shift lens that was recently announced. Now, I'm an architectural photographer commercially and an industrial photographer, and I use tilt shift lenses a lot. I've been using here on this GFX100S. There's a Canon TSE-24, which gives an equivalent field of view of the same roughly as this about 17mm lens as shift lens. It's a bit wide. It's also not designed for the size of the sensor, so you have to be a bit careful with the shift, and the quality at extreme shift falls over. However, Fuji have announced this lens a while ago, and they've just sent me this here, and here we have one FUJINON. Now this is heavy. For just picking it up, a filter. It takes largish filters. Now I'll show the filter ring how it works, but that's the size of filter. This is just listed as protective filter. I don't normally use them, but there we go. An adapter ring for holding the lens. Now show how that works. That's this bit here on this picture. I use a Rigetti TSE frame on the lenses here. This is the 24mm, as I said, and this on my old 5DS. This is the TSE-17. Now this also works on this. Once again, at strong shift you have to be very careful with it. The quality drops off, but it gives the equivalent of a 14mm shift lens on the GFX. So it is used. Both of these will continue to be useful. Now for other bits and pieces, what do we got? Well, this is interesting. This is the lens hood. It's a two-part lens hood, and it has a filter adapter in it. I'll come back to it when I'll get this lot out and sort it out and set it up on the camera here, and we can have a look at it. But literally, this is a hefty old lens. It weighs about 1.5 kilos nearly. It is a very solid lens. In fact, the two combined there is not much. That's why using this ring on here and putting a camera on the back is probably a good idea for many shots. Now I'll be using this. I'm going to be doing a detailed review. I'll take it out and testing. I do not have lens testing equipment, all the kinds of test charts and things for precise. You'll have to look elsewhere for that. That's not the sort of lens testing I do. This is very much qualitative. I will be looking at the pictures I get from this on that, at different apertures, different shifts, all the things like that. All the standard stuff that I put in the reviews. I've done lots of reviews of tilt shift lenses. In fact, I've even written a book about tilt shift lenses that shows how to use them. And there's lots of tilt shifts. There is lots of tilt shift stuff on this channel as well. Now I'm going to put this down because it's heavy enough that even just holding it like that's noticeable. We'll put it all together and put it on that. Right, here we are. I've unpacked everything that you get with it. Here's the 105mm filter. You get a clear filter with it. I don't know whether you get this with it or whether but that's just a straightforward bit of glass just to protect the front end, and immediately it is a hefty, it's a very, if I'm holding it comfortably here and the center of balance now is around about here, the camera feels relatively light in comparison to the lens, so that's quite a hefty thing. Now I'm going to be going out testing and taking pictures of buildings, as well as all the normal places that I take pictures of when I do testing of this. I'm going to be visiting some cathedrals in the UK, and many, some of these cathedrals date back to the sort of 12th century or before, many of them, and I'm going to be taking some shots in there because that's the sort of stuff, fine detail all over the place. Even with full shift, you've got detail everywhere in the frame. It's the sort of stuff I enjoy taking pictures of them. I've got some printer testing to do as well coming up over the next few months, and it would be nice to create some 100 megapixel really sharp images which will make big prints. So I'm going to be looking at this from a point of view of using this to make images, to make big prints. Now, what's the issue with the cathedrals? Many of them don't allow tripods. oh dear, shock horror, I hear some people saying you can't use tilt shift lenses without tripods. Well, that's a nonsense. You can indeed. You just have to be very careful. The image stabilization in this works well. I know, I've tested it on this, and here is the TSC24, albeit with a mount adapter on it, so it is quite a bit smaller than that. So there's the 24. I will be testing this, as I say, on a tripod for some tests and things, certainly where I can, but I'll be doing it outdoors, and handheld as well. Now the mount itself, fairly standard mount, just releases off. There we go. Pull that out, and that clips. Now I'm not going to just stand this on this and leave it unattached, but let's put that there. It locks into place. Now that is useful, because stuff like this you don't want to drop. Together these two cost more than I just paid for a car, so you don't really want. So it clicks into place and then it locks. Now with the locking, there we go. There is, while I'm holding that, the center of gravity is at the far end of the plate here, so there is that. Now this is just a basic screw plate. I will be looking for something with an Arca Swiss style mount on it. I'll check out some mounts. There's a 3/8 and a 1/4 inch tripod thread on the bottom here. That allows you to rotate it. Why would you might want to use this? Well, let's say you want to do you want a bit more coverage and you want to do up and down shift. Well, there we go. I'm shifting the camera upwards. I'm shifting the camera downwards. Lens doesn't move, so there we go. We got that. We have got 15mm of shift available on this. That's 15mm on a 33x44 sensor. The image circle on this is huge. It's 85mm image circle, so it gives you an idea of the size of what's being projected onto the sensor at the back here. There is a little clip here that you can press in, little tag, and that allows the whole lens to rotate. On that, there's 180-degree movement on that. One thing I did notice, make sure it's locked when you do it, because it's possible when you attach the lens to the camera that this slides and the lens doesn't lock fully in place. The 30mm mark on top here should be dead central for the mount to be properly attached. I noticed that because it's the sort of thing that you might get wrong in the field when you're perhaps not fumbling for lenses, but you're in somewhere where you want to take a bit, you're doing this in a bit of a hurry. This is probably not a bit of a hurry lens, actually. I say I will be going out and using it handheld to test things. What other features have we got on it? Well, it's manual focus. The center of the lens does not extend. It's internal focusing, so there's no movement there. Now, this contraption here, what we've got, the standard setting here, this uses whatever the size this filter thread is quite small, I don't know. That's 85mm, or no, it might be a 72. Or is it? Yeah, it's about the same size as that one now, which 82mm. Tell how often I use filters. So I've taken this ring off front here, and it leaves the front. If you take this ring off, the front element protrudes ever so slightly. So once again, you take care of that front element. But what you can do is put this adapter ring on, and that takes you up to 105mm screw fit filters. 105, don't think I've got many of those. I've got some 120s from a Russian mirror lens that I had many years ago. But see, that's gone up to that size there, as opposed to the smaller size there. And then you can put a ring on here, put this on. It's all metal, and this will screw on. There's a basic lens hood. Why not a bigger lens hood? Well, the reason it's not a bigger lens hood is because of the shift lens. You're shifting it, and these hoods get in the way. If you look at the lens hood that comes with this, it's similar design to this. I just put it on for just normal protection, so that will just go on there, and that will give us an effect like that. I don't have big filters. I have got some filters I've tested, some larger ones that I may be able to try this with, but in general I don't use filters a lot. If I've got something that will fit it, I would test it. It's not something, they're not cheap, so I'm afraid this goes back to Fuji in November. I may be getting one. I'll see what I may be getting one for our work, but that does depend. But yeah, so there we go. Shift. 15mm of shift, that's good. 8.5 degrees of tilt. There we go. We'll just tilt the lens like that. And there we have a rather nifty lens. Now, if you've got any questions, please do just ask in the comments to this. I've got it here for a while and I'll be doing some testing. I will be doing all sorts of pictures, but if you've got anything specific that I can actually do, then do let me know. I'll be trying it, how it works with tilt and various things. And I'll be producing a set of tilt tables for 30mm, so I know how to set the tilt and various things like that. But rather nice looking lens. Of course, it started raining late last night and it is raining solidly all of today, and looks like the weather forecast will be a lot of rain over the next few weeks. So we may not have that many clear blue skies in the photographs, but yeah, I'm going to go out and test this, and it's a very solid bit of lens. It just, yeah, it feels hefty. It feels every bit as hefty as it looks. Anyway, there you go. New lens to test. Good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you find it interesting. Oh, and if you've not come across it yet, have a look at the index page I've created for all the videos I've done. There's over 450 of them at the moment, and I've done a complete index, so it makes it much easier to find them by topic and subject. YouTube is useless at that sort of stuff. Anyway, thanks again. Bye.